Hey everybody, it's Heather Nichols here, and I want to talk to you about the Access Consciousness XMen conversation. What is an XMen? An XMen actually it's funny. It's a funny question because XMen are not defined or definable. XMen are people that function really differently from the rest of the world. They function more from space and awareness and question and really don't tend to get how this world and this reality works. A lot of those people have been diagnosed with things like ADD, ADHD, OCD, autism. They might have genetic things going on. They might also have never been diagnosed and never be diagnosable, but they function really differently from the rest of the world. And the point of the X-Men conversation is not actually about defining anybody as I am an X-Men, I am not an X-Men, what is an X-Men, so that I can know if I'm an X-Men. It's actually looking from a different point of view at what is possible and how we do tend to function in the world, getting different information so that we can actually use all of these things that we think are wrong about us to actually create beyond this reality. Any area of your life where you are struggling, where you might be having problems with money, you might be having problems with your business, you might be having problems with your body or with relationships or with your children, any area of life where you're having issues or just even like being on the planet, can be really intense for people, is most likely there are mega superpowers underneath those problems that we have not accessed. And part of it is that there isn't a conversation in this reality that invites us to know what we know, that invites us to recognize the levels of awareness that we have. Most of us are aware of the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of people, within at least our city, if not state, country, world, and like aware of so many things and so many universes and so many realities. And we try to fit it into the context of this reality and have it make sense, but it's never going to. So, and what happens is a lot of times people tend to look from this reality, from the point of view and the perspective and the information of this reality to try to figure themselves out and figure out how to make things easier in their own lives. But guess what? You're sort of barking up the wrong tree. There's not going to be information or any feedback that this reality can give you about you, because you, as an X-Men, as somebody who has capacities and awareness and superpowers, you're beyond this reality. So we're looking through a completely different lens that's not going to give us the information that we're looking for. And so where do you go from there? Well, you go to what it is that you know, and a totally different conversation that we get to have in the Access Consciousness X-Men classes and body of work and conversations and in Access Consciousness in general about, hey, you're different. What if that is a beautiful thing? What if that's your strongness? What if that's where your capacities lie? What if everything you thought was wrong about you is actually your greatest brilliance? And if you learn to be with that and to be curious about it and to be present with it and to know what is true for you in regards to it, everything can flourish, because all of a sudden you're no longer looking in the wrong place to try to figure out how life is going to work for you. You start to look at, whoa, what's true? What's true for me? What do I know here that nobody else has ever known? What do I know about this or that that I've never seen in this reality? Nobody's ever invited me to. Nobody's ever even told me is possible. And you begin to uncover this treasure trove of awareness that you be, and use that to create so dynamically. Some of the most amazing innovators in our world that have been major X-Men, that haven't judged themselves out of the creative geniuses that they be. They've used it and they've harnessed it to create. And to me, that's one of the most exciting things about this conversation, is actually getting rid of all of the wrongness that has come with all the labels, whether they're real, actual labels or just judgments that we have of ourselves, and getting rid of all the wrongness of that and going, wow, what if this is actually a universe of possibility here that we be? And when we start to unlock it and open up to it, we start to unleash it into the world and unleash ourselves into the world, and creating a different reality is actually then possible. So what is possible for you as an X-Men that you don't think is possible, that if you would allow it would create a totally different world, different life for you, different future? And it's a conversation that excites me a lot. So check out more X-Men and more X-Men stuff on my website, heathernichols.com. There's always classes on the books coming up live and online in various parts of the world. And also on the Access Consciousness site, accessconsciousness.com/Xmen. Thank you.